JFree journey. JFree journey on that JFree journey. JFree journey on that JFree.
Welcome back to JFree Journey Basketball Training, where we're here to bring you content and not nonsense. Today we're going to be doing a workout with a kid, 10 years old. We're going to work on his footwork, his balance, his basic layups, stretching, and shooting. Let's get after it.
The first thing you want to do when teaching a young kid is to make sure that they're good and stretched. You might as well go ahead and establish this habit now so they can always have it with them when they get older. While there's no surefire way to prevent injury 100%, stretching greatly reduces that possibility. And it doesn't have to be anything really fancy. You want to make sure you stretch out your calves, your quads, your hamstrings, your back, that type of stuff. And a quick side note, the younger they are, the more they'll want to rush through it. Make sure they take their time. Once they're good and stretched, you want them to start moving a little bit. What we have Jakari doing here are what we call power skips. As he jumps off his left foot, he reaches high with his right hand. As he lands, he jumps off his right foot and reaches high with his left hand. This teaches you how to do layups. It's extremely essential to learn how to do power skips before you learn how to do layups. Most kids nowadays have it backwards. They walk straight in the gym and they try to do layups and they miss and they don't know why. Learn the power skip first, then you'll learn the layup. Trust me.
Now we're going to work on high knees. Just a good way to get us good and loose, get us ready to work out. Let's hit it.
Again, you want to get these kids moving. Have them doing light jogs, high knees, bottom kicks, whatever it takes just to get them having fun. They love to move around at that age. They love sweating. They love energetic activities. But you don't want to burn them out just yet. Do just enough to keep them interested in what's going to happen next.
Next we're going to work on is defensive stances. When you're young, you need to establish this early, learn it early before you get older. That way you have it already down by the time you get to middle school. You always want to make sure you're low, feet shoulder width apart, maybe a little wider, have a good solid base, flexing those quads, flexing those hamstrings, back straight, low. Me and Jakari are going to do some slides, left and right.
Defense, an often underrated and underappreciated part of basketball. I'd go so far to even say that defense is the most important thing that you need to teach your child. Nowadays, too many people are focused on scoring. Scoring is great, but there's also another side of the ball called defense. What we have Jakari doing here are slow defensive slides. Teach them this early while they're young, and I promise you they'll carry it to when they're older. Have your feet even apart, not crossing your feet, staying low with your hands up. Use your leg muscles. Squat down low, use those quads, and use those hamstrings. Also, as they're sliding, make sure that they remain on the balls of their feet and not flat-footed. If they go flat-footed, they're not going to have balance and they're going to be extremely slow. And it's going to be a little harder to teach kids to stay on their toes because they're used to being flat-footed. They walk flat-footed. That's how they've been doing their whole life so far. Just when you see them doing it, stop them and correct them. Simple. They'll eventually catch on.
Now what we can do next is ball handling. Depending on the skill level of the kid, you can use 2 balls or 1. Jakari's skilled enough the way he can do 2. First, we're going to do a crab walk. Go very, very slowly. We'll pound it together, like such. Go forward and backward.
The 2-ball drill is utilized to strengthen both hands when dribbling the basketball. I'm sure at some point you've seen the pros do it. They're very, very good at it because they started when they were young. Most of them anyway. This dribble also strengthens your shoulder muscles, your back tricep muscles, and your forearms. 3 areas that you'll definitely need to have strong if you want to become a good dribbler. Watching Jakari do this drill, he's relatively still fresh at this point in the workout. He's able to utilize his legs and stay low, keep his back straight, and maintain good balance. But the typical thing that happens during workouts with young kids is that they get tired. As they get tired, they start to form bad habits. One particular bad habit that normally happens is the back starts being utilized more than the legs. When that happens, you're off balance and you're more prone to injuring your back when you get older. When the back is hunched over, you can't even see up. Imagine dribbling down the court and you have a teammate wide open, but your back is too hunched over for you to look up and see. And here you see the correct way to fix it. Straighten that back up, use those legs and stay low. Control the dribble, have balance. Incorrect. Correct. Incorrect. Correct. What you want to make sure you're doing is interacting with these kids. Make sure that you're engaged and make sure that they see that you're engaged. As long as you do that, they'll soak up whatever you say like a sponge. And when I say soak it up, I mean that they're actively going to try. And that's a very important aspect when you're working with kids. Make sure that they're putting the effort in. But they feed off of you. Give them the energy to put in the effort. Like how we see this kid doing.
We got that out the way. Remember, with kids, we want to keep it real basic. Nothing way too fancy. Next thing we're going to work on are crossovers. We always want to have the ball low, below the kneecaps, like such. boom, 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 this way. Body is straight. I have control over the ball. I'm not too high with it. Not too far out with it. You want to keep it close to you. This way. Boom. Let it rock. Boom. Lean, rock. Lean, rock. Lean, rock. Let's hit it. In the middle.
So when they're working with crossovers, you always want to make sure that the ball is constantly below the kneecap. Also, you want to make the crossover wide, extending past your shoulders. Move left and right with your torso, and you want to swing left and right, kind of like a pendulum on a clock. I actually recommend the basic crossover dribble being the first dribble move that you actually learn. You can't go through your legs and behind the back if you can't do a crossover first. The crossover is one of the most effective ways to get by your defender. Learn it early while you're 6 and 7, 8 and 9, and even 10. And by the time you get 14 and 15, it'll be second nature. You want the crossovers to be low and fast. The lower and faster it is, the more confidence you'll build, and the more you'll be able to carry it over into a game. As you can see in the video, we're starting to do mix-ups. We can do crossovers on the side with the right hand, and then we can switch it and do crossovers on the side with the left hand. The same as in the front. We can have one hand going across like a windshield wiper with the right hand, and we can do the opposite with the left hand. These are just different ways of getting your crossover better and getting the mindset more confident. Be creative when you're doing your crossovers, just as long as you're working and having fun. Remember, this is basketball. It's a sport that you're supposed to have fun. You never want to take it too seriously. Enjoy and rejoice in the fact that you're able-bodied and you're healthy enough to participate. And as always, the more you practice at it, the better you'll get. Keep working hard at it.
Go hard, but give them breaks also. You don't want to overspend any energy and tire them out, because that's a bad workout. That won't work. The next step we want to learn how to do is shoot. If we're right-handed shooters, the first thing we want to do is take our left hand and put it on the side of the ball like this. Take our right hand and put it underneath. So you have your elbows in, locked in, fingertips. You don't want to have palm on the ball. If you have palm on the ball, you have no control over it. Look, no control. No control. Without fingertips on it, it's harder to knock out. This is what we call fingertip control. Our friend Jakari is going to show us how to do it.
So what we're doing now are stationary air shots. This is simply working on our form and perfecting it. For our up-and-coming shooters, make sure that we're shooting the ball in the air and we're catching it in the same spot. One last tip, make sure that you're shooting with your fingertips and you're following through. You never want to shoot with a flat palm. As Jakari switches this shot, the reason he makes it is because he's using his fingertips and he's following through. While you won't make every shot, if you stick to this consistent form, you'll make more shots. Once the prospective student has gotten the basic crossover down, along with the jump shot, you can start mixing it up with chairs. What I'm showing Jakari how to do is a crossover into another crossover into a jump shot. Now in theory, these particular drills are supposed to teach a kid how to maneuver with the basketball into a jump shot. But in reality, it gets a little tougher when there's real defense on them. So you don't want to have them going out there trying to score against defenses without working out first. Start them off doing it without defense. That way when real defense comes, they'll be better prepared because they've done the move thousands and thousands of times. Then their chances of scoring will go up, rather than them getting intimidated and turning the ball over, losing it off their foot, that type of stuff. Remember, whenever they make a mistake, be sure to stop them and correct them. You don't want them continuing to do bad habits. You may have to tell them more than once, and that's okay. Remember, they're young and they're here to learn. Teach them how to play. A lot of days I don't see enough teaching. I see a bunch of rolling balls out and playing. And playing is fine, but you need instruction. Teach, bro.
Remember, you're going to miss 1,000 shots. 1,000. Don't worry about it. You persevere. Jakari working hard, fighting through it, making his shots. Give them water. Next year we're going to do is work on a little behind the back action. When you want to get low, it's plenty. The older the kid gets, the more they'll be able to do it. If they don't get it at first, don't worry. Work with them, have patience.
Now this next move may be a little advanced, and that's fine if it is. Just go back to learning the basic crossover first. But if you feel like you're ready, you can start learning how to go behind the back. And what you want to do to perfect the behind the back dribble, make sure that you plant your feet and rip it through. It'll be a little tough for a beginner, especially kids. But again, have patience and make them push through. They're going to make plenty of mistakes. You may want to even show them how to do it by doing the same move as they are. That way they can see it and they can perfect it. And it's going to take thousands and thousands of shots, as I keep saying. This is really practice. This is a journey. It's not going to come overnight. You either have to put dedication and work into this. This is no joke. If this is what you really want to do, or this is what you want your child to do, or your player, or whatever, you have to put the work in. There are going to be a lot of missed shots and a lot of mistakes, but the key is your character and how are you going to build yourself.
So we're doing burnouts. Teaches your kids how to persevere and fight through the end. Make sure they're tired. You want to wear them out so they can get a good night's sleep or whatever.
Make sure to push these kids. Work them hard and push them to their limits. Make them sore in the morning because they'll need it. What we're doing now is the 2-ball drill that we did at the beginning, except only now we're doing it as fast as possible. Once we do it enough times, we're going to release one ball and make a layup. The power skips that we did at the beginning are very, very critical in learning how to do a layup.
Quick, break, go! Good job, break.
As Jakari shoots a layup on the right side of the basket, he's jumping off his left foot and he's shooting with his right hand as high as he can.
They make one in the right hand, you do opposite, make them drop the right, do a left hand layup. Quick. Break! Good, stop.
He's also doing it from the left side, except this time he's jumping off the right foot. Now from my experience working with young kids, the majority of them, not all of them, but the majority of them have not developed an offhand yet. In other words, it's really hard for a right-handed player to make a left-handed layup and vice versa. So what I like to typically do for a right-handed player, for example, is to still teach them how to do a left-handed layup and jump off that right foot, but it's okay if they use their right hand. What we're doing is teaching them the form. Eventually they will get it with their left hand over time. And the same with left-handed players. It's okay if they shoot off the left foot and make it with the left hand on the right side. Eventually they'll learn how to use their right hand. It just takes time.
And then you simply mixing it up from there. You can go right, you go left. You can go 2 rights, 2 lefts, 2 lefts, 2 rights. How you want to do it? We're going to go right now. Break! Good. Good job.
Once they're good and tired, make them shoot free throws. You get better results if you practice free throws when you're tired, especially with young kids. When they're tired, make them focus way more on their form than normal. That way they develop good habits that carry over to when they're older. Remember, you still want to correct their mistakes. Are they following through? Are they jumping back? Are they not putting arch on it? Etc. Make sure you're teaching and make sure they're retaining. They work hand in hand. Teach, retain. Teach, retain. Once it's at the end of a workout, I like to make these kids do push-ups. This will help their mental character and their physical strength. This will also increase their strength in shooting the ball from further distances because they're working their shoulders out. Make them do about 15 to 20 at a time.
Alright, so again, with kids that young, ages 6 through 10, grades 1 through 5 or whatever, you want to remember to have patience with those guys. They're new to this. Establish the fundamentals early. That way they don't have to worry about it later and get exposed in middle school or high school. Push them, work them hard, but then give them breaks so they don't get discouraged. Be sure to like and hit that subscribe button. Leave comments. If you have any questions, feel free. I'm open book.